Good morning, fellow Nigerians. This is Nelson Oluwabukola Michael again, and today I have a little smile on my face because I'm beginning to feel the effect of the changes we're beginning to advocate in Nigeria. And first, I would like to thank all of you who have been sharing the video posts that we have been putting out there. I want you to know that this is not an individual goal. This is our goal altogether. And for every one of you that have put the video out there, that have shared the link, that have made comments, I want to assure you that consider yourself as members of this group of change. Our project right now is Activate Anthem 2. Which contains a lot of prayers for the country and contains lines that show that we need God to guide us and we need the youth to know the truth. We need the youth to know the truth and we need our leaders to do the right thing. And we're beginning to see the effect of change in our country. I want to thank all of you. Once again, you wouldn't know how wonderful it is for us to work together as a team and for us to begin to wake up and to do the right things that we should have been doing all those years. Most of you are beginning to help other youths to realize that change of government is not what betters the life of the people. It is part of what betters the life of the people, but it is not the main thing that betters the life of the people, because we've seen a lot of youths nowadays clamoring for one party to come into power and for the other party not to come into power. Three things make a democracy work, and they are in place in the Nigerian democracy. It is just that most of our youths and the masses do not really realize this and do not pressurize the government into making use of those tools to bring the change that is needed in the country. We have the three arms of government that should bring the change we need. We have the judiciary, the legislator, and the executive. Now, in developed countries, what makes a country flourish are the kinds of laws that country passes. If you take the United States of America, for instance, if you take it for example, they pass laws every day to improve the immigration system, to improve the job system, and to improve the welfare system. Our teams, members of our team in Nigeria sent us some of the laws passed by the Nigerian National Assembly in the past years, and we see that there are so many laws out there already passed that should better the life of Nigerians. But the fact is, most of us are not even aware of these laws. But the first thing I want to congratulate every one of us on this project on this morning is the news I received from Vanguard newspaper about what Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola has decided to spark off in Lagos State. And I would take time to read the excerpts to you. I mentioned in the last video that we created. I use the word we because we're inspired by the mails and the messages you've been sending, and you've been pointing our attention to issues that we should focus on. So this is a we thing. This is something we all are doing, and we do not look forward to gain any recognition by any political party, because we are not a political party. We are an advocacy group or a pressure group, as the Nigerian society sees it, and we're beginning to see the effect of change. Let me draw you back to what I was going to say earlier on. This morning, I got wind of a news of what the Lagos State government under Babatunde Raji Fashola is going to do. And the paper reads that power supply, all homes in Lagos will be lit in 6 months if Fashola does some things. I'll read the body of the news extract for you, for those of us who might have not had the opportunity to lay hands on a newspaper. And you can look into Vanguard newspaper or just log online and look to Vanguard and see what this news is about. So I'll read it to you. And it says, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola of Lagos State yesterday said the solution to the problem of power sector could be achieved in 6 months if the distribution companies, the discos, were ready to yield some percentages of their concessions to the state government. Fashola made a statement that the commissioning of the 1.2 kilometer Glover Road and 8.5 megawatts Peninsula Integrated Power Project, PIPP, Lekki Etiosa local government area. The governor, while commissioning the 5th IPP, said, let the Eco Discos sign a contract with me, the state government, giving part of their concessioning to the state government. In about 6 to 8 months, there will be power in all homes in Lagos State. There will be power in all homes in Lagos State. So let no one, and these were his words, quote, open quote, let no one say that he has no money to deliver power for the entire country. Now, when he says this, he's not referring to the current government alone. We know the current government has failed us in that area, but it's referring to the government from since we ushered in democracy, even as far back as the military rule. So that is why we must pay attention to the kind of leaders that are putting themselves out there, making us to see them as the best thing that ever happened to Nigeria. We need leaders that can bring change. I'll continue. He said, let no one say that he has no money to deliver power for the entire country. This is the limit to which the law allows us as the Lagos State government to do. That means we could do more if we have power, if we wield federal powers. Remember, if you look at the video we made, the last video we made about changing Nigeria, I drew attention to the fact that if a man such as Raji Babatunde Fashola could make the changes he made in Nigeria, in Lagos State, just within the state level, imagine what would happen if he is able to implement such change at the federal level. Now, so he's telling you, so when they come with lies that power is impossible, you can tell them that we have power here and we make it possible. Let me stop on that point. And the excerpt shows that the governor is giving credit to the youths for assisting in that project. We are not laying claim to have done this, but we believe that somehow, some way, because all the messages we send out there, we make sure it gets to all the government parastatals in Nigeria. So what does this mean to you? What does this mean for you and I? It means that if, for instance, the Lagos State government is able to generate electricity to all homes, it means that you have more money from your income to stay in your pocket. Because I tell you, 50% of what you have to pay for daily, even the soda, the soft drinks you buy, and your tuition as students, 50% of it is an addition based on the money spent by the producers or the retailers on gas and petroleum products used in powering generators. So for instance, if you earn 20,000 naira a month and normally you spend about 15,000 naira on food and other stuff, that means if this project is implemented and you have daily constant power supply, that means, for instance, the additional cost to tuition in Lagos State that ties into powering electricity for the classrooms will be taken off. It means, for instance, the additional cost to health, which you need to pay when we take our wives or our children to the hospital, the additional cost used in powering the generators would be taken off. So you could walk into any hospital at that point in time and know that you'll be paying less. It simply means that the amount of money you buy on you spend on buying soft drinks, on buying food, and on other amenities that you need will be taken off. It means that you would have more money to spend on recreational activities that should make you have a better life. Listen to all the comments that the candidates presented by the APC have been mentioning. All this is, he has never said, in this time frame I'm gonna be able to bring power supply. All these comments have been, well, you know, it's been a long time and it's not going to be resolved in a little time. It's an end to us listening to stories. If I would say this morning, one good thing Nigerians can do is to pressurize APC into changing their candidates. And listen, Nigerians, Hausa, Igbos, Yorubas, and other ethnic groups, it is high time we erase out of our minds what the politicians want us to believe, that at every point in time, the presidential seat should be zoned between Hausas, Igbos, and Yorubas. No, we have moved out of that era. We want a reasonable Nigerian. Nigeria is what unifies us, is our identity. Not Hausas, not Igbos, not Yorubas. We have the United States of Nigeria, if you want to know. So at no time should we be bothered whether we have a Hausa person ruling us or not ruling us. A Hausa person in power as a president or Igbo or Yoruba. At every point in time, we must advocate to have the fittest person in the country to be in the seat of power. So don't let them fool you don't let them fool you as Hausas into saying, well, a Yoruba person has been there for a while and it's time for the Hausa. What if the Yoruba person is the stupid person? What if it's somebody who cannot even deliver results? We as citizens, we should not be bothered along the lines of ethnicity who is ruling, who is in power. We should only be bothered about the sanity and the ability of that person to deliver the desired results. And the change should start with youth. These changes should start with our youth. We are done with the military era. We are done with the military recycling themselves and coming over and over again to perpetrate the evils they have been doing. And like I mentioned earlier on, what we need now is not a man who is notable for high-handedness. What we need now is not someone as clueless as our current president. What we need is someone who can put a timeline on projects and deliver it at that point in time. And I'm very confident in the current government of Lagos State that this will be delivered. And this is a message to the leader of the party, APC. Go back and rerun your primaries and give us the person Nigeria deserves. We have realized the game plan for bringing Buhari here. Buhari cannot deliver to Nigerians. Buhari cannot deliver the results we need. We need someone who can tell us a time frame when projects will be delivered and when we have them delivered. This is what we are bothered about. We are not bothered about somebody tearing their party cards and somebody being ambushed and a party train being thrown stones at. That is the problem with the politicians. That is their own problems. That is not for us to discuss. I see a lot of people, a lot of youths, especially in Nigeria, discussing these issues, posting pictures of the current president prostrating to Tinubu. Those are issues we should leave for the politicians to deal with, or we could use them for our own daily humor. Like I mentioned, the current government, if they sit up today and decide to bring changes and to start passing laws that would change our country, we would see the changes just like we would see in about 6 to 8 months in Lagos State. That means in about 6 to 8 months in Lagos State, if you'll be able to keep about 50% of your normal income in your pocket, because you will not need to pay the extra cost of electricity to all the services provided to you. That means for our ladies who go to make their nails and who go to make their hair at the beauty salons, the beauty salons will not be including the money spent on buying gas into the cost of you making your hair. This is a good change for us people. And before I round this up, our team here in the United States got some laws already passed by the Nigerian Senate as far back as 2005 that we the people are not even aware of. We have several laws we have the Advanced Free Fraud Act that was passed in 2006, and we've not finished our research on these laws, because we have a plan to pressurize the government and to enlighten the people into advocating for the implementation of these laws. Now, the Advanced Free Fraud Act of 2006. I'll give me just a minute. Sorry, I had to turn on the AC in order to get a clear visual on this video recording. And we had the Advanced Free Fraud Act of 2006. Now, this act has been passed since 2006. This act stipulates that it is a criminal act for anyone to collect money from another person under false pretenses. It says that anyone caught in this criminal act is liable and is due to be sent to prison, to life imprisonment. Now, what does that mean? That means that, just like we've been advocating, that NEPA official that comes to you and collects bribe from you in order to restore your power, even when that doesn't go into the pocket of the government, you have the right, and listen very well to this, you'll have the right to approach that person and tell them, flag it, go online and pull out these laws. Now, there's a saying that I used to hear when I was in high school. It says that if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in his book. Put it in a book. And this is true. It is about time we Nigerians started opening books, going online, and pulling the laws that have been passed, because there's so much out there that have been passed for our good, but which we fail to see. You can print a copy of the Advanced Free Fraud Act of 2006 and paste it at your shops or in front of your homes, and tell that electricity marketer when they come and tell you to pay charges of 25,000 or 50,000, and tell them that if they repeat that with you, they will end up in jail. It is time that we Nigerians begin to make use of the courts, because what makes a democracy grow is the ability of the citizens to use the machinery of the court to implement the laws that have already been put in place for them. In the United States of America, for instance, because I have a black skin, because I'm from the black race, if, for instance, my boss at work decides to make a decision against me based on the color of my skin, I have the right and the power to go to the court and tell them about that, and it will be punished. And that would not happen. But we allow that to happen every time in Nigeria. We allow that to happen at every point. So going back to what I was saying, that marketer who has been collecting money from you, you can let him go scot-free with what he has done. The electricity marketer. The next time he comes to your doorstep, other than for him to deliver the bill, which you are due, you shouldn't be charged extra. And we implore the Lagos State government to ensure that they cut off all the middlemen in the line of services, because the problem we're having in Nigeria is that the middlemen try to prey on the ignorance of the citizens. Electricity should be distributed in such a way that people can pay their bills online. People can attach their account information to their service account from the electricity paying companies and pay their bills online. And you don't need to worry about any corrupt marketer coming to your doorstep to tell you what you must pay. And the kilowatts consumed per household should be reflected on the bills. And on those bills, the amount per kilowatt should be put there. And infrastructure should be put in place to ensure, based on the Electricity Power Sector Reform Act passed in 2005. Infrastructure should be put in place to ensure that there is appropriate reading of the meters to ensure that nobody overpays or underpays for electricity used. So when the Lagos state government is implementing the new electricity law and working with the youths, we implore you to take this as part of the process. Now we also have the Child Rights Act, which was passed sometime in the year past. The Child Rights Act makes it a crime for any child not to go to school. It makes it a crime for any parents to deprive the children of the right to school. That means every Nigerian should be educated. The law already allows for this. But are we citizens aware of this? We are not. The Compulsory Free Universal Basic Education Act of 2004 makes education free for all pupils in Nigeria up till junior secondary school. Now imagine if we knew about this law and that law is being implemented. Imagine how much you as a parent would not have to spend on your child's primary school education or junior education. Imagine how much goes back in your pocket. Imagine how much you have left to purchase clothes and to take your children out on weekends to shop or to attend recreational centers. The basic problem in Nigeria is not corruption. I think the basic problem is ignorance. Ignorance of the citizens to know their rights, to know what rightfully belongs to them. This is the huge problem we have. Now also, when you travel to Nigeria, most times you still have to pay bribes to the airport officials before you're allowed through. I remember when I was coming to the United States in 2010, I met a security official who said he works for the SSS, the State Security Service. And when I flashed him my travel passport, he mentioned to me, he said, "Your passport is not good for travel." And I was amazed because the United States Embassy has already cleared my passport for travel. And I began questioning him. I began asking, what right, by what measurement, by what logic do you say my passport is not good for travel? And when he observed that the embarrassment was too high, he had to leave. I eventually had to pay about $40 as bribe to pass through. Imagine if that $40 is kept in my pocket. Imagine how much people traveling in and out of Nigeria have to pay. Now, the Advanced Free Fraud Act makes it a punishable offense with life years imprisonment for anyone to do that from this point forward. So we are going to pass out materials that would make it impossible for these perpetrators to keep inflicting this heinous evil upon us. And Nigerians need to stand up also and speak up and mention when you are being confronted with corrupt officials, to tell them that no, I am not due to pay this amount, and if you keep doing this based on the Advanced Free Fraud Act of 2006, you are liable to life imprisonment. Stop paying lecturers to give you grades. Stop paying your head of classes for textbooks that the school authorities have already declared illegal. Now we also have the Personal Income Tax Amendment of 2011, which I believe, if fully implemented, would afford Nigerians the same opportunity we have in the United States of America, such that at the end of the year, the government can do a revision of all the taxes paid by citizens and redistribute to citizens who have overpaid taxes to the government, and redistribute money back to them. I'm sure there are machineries put in place to make this happen. But because of the ignorance of the citizens and the inability of our politicians to be forthright, the inability of the executive arm of the government to implement these laws successfully, we have been losing a lot of money to corruption. The money is there, but when it is not used for the intended purposes, it is cleared by some people. So Nigeria has all the machinery in place. What we need is not a change of government, my people. What we need as I mentioned in the last video, is a change of thinking of the mind. And jump off those silly trains, shouting Sai Baba all around. We are more educated than that. We should work with governments that are forward-looking and that are progressive. We, the masses, should advocate for the change that we need. We should take our minds off changing government and rather put our minds to changing our mentality. That is what we need. We have the Sexual Offences Bill of 2014, which makes it a criminal offense for anyone to have a non-consensual act with some other person, either by means of intimidation or cajoling. Now, I want our school systems and our instructors in schools to listen up to this. You face life imprisonment by cajoling our female students into having sex with you. And this is legal. This is lawful. This has been passed into law under the Sexual Offences Bill of 2014. And ladies, you need to listen to this. You are not obligated to provide any kind of sexual favor to anyone, whether to get a job, whether to get good grades, or whether to get the benefits of good education which you pay for. We need to pace these things around the schools. Our SUG bodies, our student union government bodies, need to help us take this stand and help us put notices out there that would make better life for our students. Like I said, the change needs to start from the bottom up at times. When the government realizes that you are not going to take the crap that they've been offloading on us, they would change their mind and they would change their approach to things. We have the Tertiary Education Trust Fund Act of 2011 that provides the same program that the United States provide for colleges and students going to colleges, whether 3-year college or 4-year colleges. You have a right to get financial aid. This money is put out there. I remember sometime back in Nigeria, one of the ministry, I believe the health ministry, had to return some money to the government because it wasn't spent on the programs they were planned for. That is because we have failed to be taking our cases to the court. We need to start accessing the courts. We need to start changing our mind and knowing for sure that we are being ruled upon as beasts of burdens every day. Fellow Nigerians, the time for change has begun, and we are beginning to see the dividends, like what is happening in Lagos State right now. I want this discussion this morning that we're having to draw your mind to two things. The APC has not given us the right candidate from that party. We're not going to see any change. And like many people have mentioned, we are going to be taken back if we allow the current candidates presented to us by the APC to go through. We are going to inherit a new set of problems and a different scenario of drama. We need to pressurize the government in changing their minds. We need to pressurize the party in changing their minds if we truly believe this party has something to offer. Number two, I congratulate every one of us on this new achievement, because I believe in 6 to 8 months we are looking to have stable power, electric power in our homes. The change has begun. And once again, I want to thank all of you who have been sending messages and supporting us, praying for us. I enjoy all the men of God, the ministers, to keep praying for this cause. Ministers of God and Islamic clerics, remember us in your prayers. Because the second national anthem says, "O God of creation, direct our noble cause." It starts with God. And you are the intermediary between the people and the God. There's unity among us based on religious, based on religious differences. And these are not differences. These are just mediums. We call on the same God. So this is not a Muslim thing. This is not a Christian thing. This is a Nigerian thing. When Obama came into office in 2008, he made a powerful statement. He said, there is no black America, there is no Hispanic America, there is no white America. There is the United States of America. Youth, I want you to know today that there is no Hausas of Nigeria, there is no Igbos of Nigeria, there is no Yorubas of Nigeria. There is Nigeria, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which we all are part of. War is not going to break out if the elections are postponed and we have enough time to make the changes that we need. You and I are not ready to go to war. You would not be the first person to go pick a gun. We know Nigerians are peaceful people. Like we've seen that the Boko Haram is a group sponsored by the same government that are voted in by the people. All these atrocities created by these militant groups, they are being induced by governments, not the people. So stop letting them scare you into the belief that war is going to break out if one party candidate doesn't come in. No, they will be the one to sponsor that war. Don't let us fall into their trap. Fellow Nigerians, we'll be discussing some other time. Again, I want to congratulate every one of us who has taken part in this project. And I want to share the good news with you that we are progressing, and very soon we are going to register our group. And we're going to give it a name by which all of us can be identified. This is not a political group like I've said before. It is a group for change. It is an advocacy group. And we all are part of this group. For all of you who have been sharing the messages on Facebook, you belong to this group by default. So once again, I pray that God bless you and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you. We'll talk some other time. Thank you. God bless you.